Hey everybody, it's Professor Williams, and we're going to look at the Minitab app in the cloud and create a histogram. So I brought in a spreadsheet from Excel, and it has three variables: life expectancy, obesity, which is a BMI or body mass index, and then gender. And I'm going to create a histogram of life expectancy. So I'm going to move this down, and I'm going to come up to graph. I'm going to select histogram. I just need a simple one. I don't want anything fancy. And I say OK. Minitab wants to know what variable am I going to use. You'll notice it only selected life expectancy and obesity, and that's because gender is not a continuous or discrete variable. It's really an indicator variable formatted as text. So my options are only life expectancy or obesity. So I'm going to do life expectancy and I'll hit select. I always check my options. I just want to make sure that my data is going to be displayed as bars. And then I'm going to say OK. And it thinks for a second. I'll minimize this. And here's my histogram. Now the problem is that it's given me all of these classes, and I really don't want that many classes. Minitab doesn't necessarily let you create a frequency distribution that you use to create your histogram with, so I've got to make some changes. So I'm going to right click anywhere on the graph, and I'm going to say graph options. And that's going to open this window over here on the side. So I'm happy with the title, don't need a subtitle, axis label, Y label is fine, orientation, scale is fine. This is what I want to change. I want to change my number of intervals from 14 to 7. And I'm going to leave everything else the same. And all I should have to do now is, it's my 7. I can close this. And now you see I have something that looks a lot more reasonable, right? Because the data really only had a range of, I think, 6 or 7. So now I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 classes. And what Minitab has done is it marks the midpoint. If I want to know what that bin, in other words, what that class width is, when I click on or hover over one of the bars, it tells me that in the class from 79.5 to 80.5, the frequency is 14. And I'm going to go ahead and save it. And I'm going to save it of life expectancy. And it's going to save it to my Google Drive because that's the repository that I selected. So real quick, we'll do another one. I'll do graph. I'll do a histogram, simple one. This time I'm going to backspace over this, and I'm going to use obesity. So I have two ways to get that Y variable there. I can click on it and say select, or I can simply double click and it'll jump over. And I'll say OK. And so now with obesity, I've got my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's say that I didn't want to have that many classes. I go back to scale. I come down. I say I want my number of intervals to also be 7. I hit enter. And now here I am with 7. And again, it will show me my bin was 22.5 to 25.5 with a frequency of 6. Now, I have the navigator toggled off. If I hit my navigator and toggle it on, you can see that I can go back and forth between the two. If I want to take this and embed it or put it into, say, a Word document, I can simply say copy graph, and then I can open Word. I can go ahead and drop it in my Word document, and I'm good to go. So, not too hard. Hope this was helpful, and thanks for watching.